Hey friends, it's Kay. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hello, I'm a professional home organizer and soprano here in the Boston area, and I'm here to inspire you to live a more organized and cozy life. When I'm filming this video, it is just about ready to be fall, and there are a certain number of things that I forget to do to my home to get it ready for fall and winter, so I'm making this video to remind you that there are some things you might want to think about doing to transition your home from summer to fall and winter. Whether you live in a place with seasons or live in a place where it's 70 degrees year-round and you're just here for the cozy vibes, I just wanted to remind you that there are certain things that you might want to consider doing to your home, whether you live in an apartment or whether you live in a detached house all by yourself. Well, not by yourself, but you know what I mean. Okay, grab your pumpkin spice lattes and let's get started. The first thing I like to transition over from summer to winter is my bed linens and linens in general around my home. I will change throw pillows, I will change quilts, and the biggest change I usually make is my bed linens. In the summertime, I love a crisp white linen sheet. I love it. But in the wintertime, I want something a little more cozy, a little warmer. We spend so much of our life in bed, and I want the best quality, value, and softness in my bed linens, and that is why I choose Brooklinen year after year, and I am so excited they are sponsoring today's video. Brooklinen is a premium soft home essentials brand thoughtfully designed and inspired by the way we live now, starting with a great bed. Again, we spend so much of our time in there, cuddling, answering emails, scrolling, playing video games, that I want the best quality bedding possible. I have personally been a Brooklinen customer since 2021, and when I decided to get new bedding, the most important thing to me was quality and value, and I chose Brooklinen, and I'm so excited to be working with them again because I love my Brooklinen sheets so much. I have a luxe hardcore set and I have a linen set, and I love them both so much. The thing I love about the Brooklinen website so much is that instead of buying individual items, you can save a ton by grabbing bundles like the Luxe Sateen Hardcore Bundle, which we chose in a warmer and darker color palette for this fall. You can grab all the same color, or you can choose to mix and match from 20 colors. With that's so many choices. And we even mix and matched our sizes because we have a king size comforter on a queen size bed. We love a lot of blanket. The Luxe Sateen is super smooth with a luxurious feel, and I cannot wait to slip into it every night. It's so soft and really smooth on my skin, and Clover loves it too. It's perfect for year-round since it's really breathable, and since I sleep hot, I wanted to make sure that I'm not gonna sweat at night too much, you know what I mean? But for nights when it's a little cooler out and you want to cuddle up, I grab the waffle weave blanket. It adds a little extra layer of coziness in the bed for freezing cold mornings when I'm just in there having coffee and answering emails, or wherever I want to be a little extra cozy. If you want to upgrade your current bedding game, check out Brooklinen in the description below and get 15% off your first order. Thank you so much to Brooklinen for sponsoring today's video. The next thing I like to do to transition my home from summer to fall and winter is transition my entire closet. I know not everyone separates their clothing by seasons. I only recently actually started doing this because I don't have room to store everything all the time, so I keep my sweaters in storage. But this is a great time to do a tidy and a little declutter. This is a great time to take inventory of the stuff that you were wearing in summer that you actually didn't reach for, or that it's not your style anymore, or it doesn't fit, or it's damaged. You can either give it a new home, toss it if it's really damaged, or recycle it, whatever your choices are. You can get your sweaters out of storage. And also, by the way, if you put your things, your summer things, I know that there are dedicated summer things that you don't wear in winter, make sure you clean them before putting them in storage, just to lessen the chance of bugs being attracted to your clothing. Bugs are attracted to natural fragrances and odors and skin cells, and I know it's gross, but they are attracted to that stuff, so make sure to clean that stuff. And you can grab some cedar planks or some cedar spray and put that with your storage as well to protect it and to deter pests from getting in there in wintertime. The thing with cedar planks and cedar spray and cedar things, balls, etc., is that if you cannot smell the cedar scent, neither can bugs. So you want to make sure that you can strongly smell the cedar scent. If you cannot smell the cedar scent, all you have to do is grab some sandpaper, rub it on the cedar block and it'll refresh the smell. When I get my sweaters out, I am personally a fan of putting my sweaters in a drawer, but if you are a fan of hanging sweaters and you want to make sure you hang them in a way that's not damaging, you can hang them using this amazing method. That way you can hang your sweaters and not worrying about them getting damaged. Isn't that cool? The next thing I recommend to prepare your home for fall is to reset your drop zones and your entryway for winter and fall. Again, I live in a place where there is weather, so there are rain boots, there are snow boots, there are coats, gloves, hats that need to be easily accessible. There also may need to be a change in the entryway if your child is going back, well, they've probably gone back to school by now, or if your pet also needs special weather gear. I know that our little dog Clover has rain boots, a raincoat, and a snow coat. Not a snow coat, but a snowsuit and a regular coat for cooler weather. Make sure that that's accessible, clean, ready to go for winter time. One of my favorite things for the entryway, and has been for a long time, is the boot mat, the rollable boot mat, because if it gets dirty, you can just throw it in the washing machine. And when you're storing it for winter time, it folds up really small. You don't have to keep it around. I used to love to use a boot tray, but I realized that there might be some issues in storing it, and this boot mat is so helpful because it also absorbs all of the moisture that comes from your snowy boots and like rainy boots. I'm getting a little sad thinking about the snow. This is totally optional, but I always love to put some fall decorations out as well, and I like to put them in my entryway too, just because it helps me feel a little bit more cozy. Listen, when winter is coming, you need all the cheer you can get. If you have outdoor spaces, this is a good time to start preparing for winter weather. We have an outdoor patio. There's lots of tropical plants out there and plants that need to be overwintered. Now is a good time to start preparing what you need to do to make sure those plants make it through the winter and that your furniture makes it through the winter as well. I know that we have a seat that needs to be covered so it doesn't get damaged in the winter. I take away some of the fabrics in winter, make sure those are nice and clean, and again, take in the plants that are not going to make it through a Massachusetts winter, or I can cover them and make sure that they are warm and safe and ready to go when spring comes back. Another thing that tends to get forgotten is fireplace maintenance. I didn't even think about this until I owned a home with a fireplace, and even if you rent a place with a fireplace, you should have it routinely maintained. Just like any other appliance in your house, it needs to be cleaned up and make sure everything is working year after year. And I know that we have a gas fireplace. We don't actually have real wood burning fire in our fireplace. However, we did have our flue cleaned, make sure that that was all safe, and we had the mechanism that turned off and on our fireplace repaired because that wasn't working. Because the last thing you want is on a really cold day to wake up and be really sad and not to be able to have a nice chill fire. So now is the time, while it's still warm and you're not using your fireplace, to have your fireplace serviced. I know that fireplace service people tend to get very busy when it's time to actually start a fire, so I would do it now. And this has nothing to do with your home, but it sort of does at the same time. I would actually do the same thing to your vehicle. The last thing you want is to be stuck someplace when it's really cold and something has happened to your vehicle. So now is the time, if you haven't, to get that oil change, to make sure your tires are all good, to make sure your heating and cooling system in your car is all good, your wipers are all good, just to make sure that you have your tools to take snow and ice off of your car, to make sure everything is all good there, because the last thing you want is to be stuck somewhere and your car is not functioning, or you're unable to get the snow and ice off of your car in a situation. While you're checking the fireplace, I would also have your HVAC system checked as well and make sure everything is all good with that, because we had a situation a few years ago where we were out of town and our heating completely stopped working. Like, it was really cold in here, and I have a Nest app and I can watch the temperature in my home from wherever I was, and I just saw the temperature dipping to like into the 60s and like getting really cold, and oh my gosh, I panicked. Luckily we were able to get HVAC repair in. Our neighbors were able to let them in and we got everything fixed by the time we came back, and no pipes burst or anything, but it was really scary. So fall is probably a good time to make sure everything is all good there so that you don't end up in a pipe burst situation. Or actually, I had some of my tropical plants die because they were exposed to cold temperatures for so long. So that's something that a lot of people don't think about, but make sure that is all good before you go into this colder month. Last but not least, I always recommend that you change over and go through your pantry in the transition from summer to winter. Since it's going to be cooler, we're going to be eating a lot more dense, rich, warming foods, and you want to make sure that you're all prepared to do that. You want to make sure you've got your spices, you've got your soup stuff ready to go, you've got your dry goods are ready to go and not getting too past their best buy dates. You can still eat food past their best buy dates, but it just won't be the same in quality. It may taste a little more bitter, a little more sour, a little less flavorful. Keep an eye on expiration and best by dates, and make sure that you have everything you need for winter to be nice and cozy. Hot chocolate, tea, coffee, those kinds of things. I love a good cup of hot chocolate on a cold winter day, and I want to make sure everything works. My fireplace, my heating system, and that I'm prepared to have my hot chocolate. All right, so those are my recommendations for resetting your home for autumn. Did I forget anything? Let me know down in a comment below. I'd love to hear what you all do to prepare your home for winter, and if you're looking forward to this winter. I want to give a big old shout out to Brooklyn for sponsoring today's video, and again, stay cozy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. You want to know who's really cozy? Is this man. You can't even really see him, he's so cozy. You can't even see his eyes. His whole face is in there, just sleeping. So cute.